Hi, I'm Marga Gomez. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, but I want to be real with you. I'm Marga Gomez. Hi. Holy moly. All right, you know what? I'm going to skip that. I want to tell you how I decided to resurrect my YouTube channel, Marga Gomez Comedy, in December 2020, and what I want to pivot it towards in 2021. I've been a solo performer in comedy and theater for 35 years. I think I can't do the math, but at least 35 years. And I know, I look pretty good because I'm Latina. Lockdown. The world is on lockdown. But one thing that's not locked down, well, usually, is the internet. Yesterday, in the lockdown, I went to I'm also a omnivore, but really I tend more towards carnivore. I went to the butcher. I went to the butcher, and there was a new butcher at the butcher shop, and I was wearing my mask, but he said, "Marga Gomez," and I said, "Yeah," and I'm thinking, "Am I going to get more meat?" And then as he was getting my meat order together, he told me he was an actor as well, and that he had followed me, and that he was a fan. A lot of fans never see me perform, but somehow they're fans. But I loved him. I love him. In fact, I'll probably go back just to see him. He told me that the pandemic's been very hard for him because he's an actor who works with other people. I'm a solo actor, and I kind of, through all the depression, anxiety of this year, I sort of feel like I'm thriving as a solo performer because of how I had to rewire my brain. But here's a gentleman who, he's got his day job, but his passion is performing in children's theater. And I kept trying to tell him, but you can still do this and you can still reach your audience. And I know that it is really hard for theater people, and especially someone in children's theater who loves it. He misses the look in their eyes after a show when they think he's the character. Well, there are ways to approach that virtually, and that's what I tried to tell him. And I don't think he was so emotional, and plus he was on the job, and I don't think he was really understanding what I was telling him. And plus, I don't want to be pushy about this, except for now. And so I just thought if I could point him to my YouTube channel, then he could see what kind of tools are available and how he can adapt who he thinks he is in the world to what he can be in the world as a creator. And geez, I'm going to edit that, I think. But he can still make magic, and he can still change lives. And all of us can do that. All of us in theater, whether we worked in a company or we work solo, we can give it our best shot. Let's say that, because I've been live streaming since March of this year, when my 13th one-person show about to open on March 13th, 2020, was postponed. Now we know that just means canceled. At my home base theater, Brava Theater in San Francisco. And so I don't even know what was in my head, but I had been working on that piece with my team for over a year. And I kind of had I want to get this out. And so I went to Guitar Center, which was opened in March, and Best Buy and online and B&H suppliers, and I got some gear, and I watched hours and hours of tutorial because I'm not a technical person, but I knew that if I didn't find a way to adapt what I do to this virtual medium, to be able to reach you and others through this little kind of, I guess, low-end DSLR camera that I have, or through a Logitech, or through my phone. Then my life was over, because my life is about creating. So that is what I did. And since then, since I watched all the tutorials and made some spectacular mistakes, even burned some bridges as I madly approached my goal to bring my work online, I eventually figured out how to stream solo performance, how to make people who see it realize that this is viable, that they actually got from a live stream of my solo performance what they would get inside the theater. Of course, we miss hearing the audible reactions, the laughter, the gasps, the tears. All of that is the experience. But I think that we're sort of ready for virtual theater as an audience. I have to say, as a solo artist, we have a leg up. And even though that lovely man at the butcher shop couldn't quite take in what I was saying, couldn't quite take in that he can be the master of his creative destiny, I'm making this channel be a place, a landing place for anyone who's curious and anyone who is tired of waiting for theaters to open and for normal to come back, because it might never come back. There are people that may never want to go into a crowded venue. They just might not. And when I get this channel going, I'm going to go back to that butcher shop and I'm going to give him my URL, and then we'll see. Because anyone who has worked in a company can be a solo artist. Anyone who's never been on stage can be a solo artist, because all it is telling your story. So please, if this sounds good to you, click the subscribe button underneath this video, and then click the little bell next to that, and that'll tell you whenever I drop a tutorial, whenever I hold a live Q&A session, which depends on your turnout and your questions, so that we can all grow together. And I'm not saying that I'm only going to be a teacher. I'm still pursuing and gigging and doing that all virtually. And when it's safe to go back into venues, I'll be the first one online to go back in a venue when it's safe. But it's never going to be safe for everybody. And so this is what I'm doing. This is what my focus is for 2021 on YouTube. And I hope that if it's not for you, maybe you know somebody who might be interested. Again, any level of experience and any budget. But I'm here to serve you with my 35 years of experience and my intensive learning curve in 2020 to be an online solo performer and teaching artist. So please click subscribe, click the notification button. Let's get at it.